going to tell you guys about the time that God saved my phone. No, it was a literal miracle. There was science, there was gravity. Don't do this. I don't recommend anyone try this out or test this at all. My phone should be missing and shattered today, but it's not because God's real. Let me explain. So my cousin came over for whatever reason. I have a lot of cousins, guys, and they're going to be in a lot of my stories. So she came over with her little sister. We hung out for a bit and then we decided to leave and go to Walmart. Probably just to go hang out there because it was a Friday night and that's just what you do in a town like this. Anyway, when we walked outside, she saw how pretty the sky was. Ooh, Joe, take a picture of me. Ah, okay, fine. She gives me her phone. I set my phone down. Start taking some pictures of her. She looking real good. Thank you, Joe. Hey, no problem. We're all set to go. Everybody gets in the car. Seatbelts on, safety first, the whole deal. Now, Walmart's about 10 minutes from my house. We're about 6 minutes in. Now, my cousin Crystal, she's a new driver. She's good, but she's a little shaky. This is good to know. This is part of the miracle. I want to check my phone. I check my purse, it's not there. Check my pockets, it's not there. Guys, where's my phone? We look everywhere. You won't believe where it was. This is part 2 of my phone literally being in the most inconvenient place it could possibly be. Anyway, we looked everywhere in the car for my phone. Suddenly, my little cousin from the back realized, oh my God. And we were like, what? Joe, there it is. Sitting on the hood of the car was my phone. But you're like, oh, Joe, it's fine. It's just sitting right there on the hood of the car. No, guys. It wasn't just, calmly chilling on the hood of the car right in the middle. Yo, this thing was sitting like this. It was teeter-tottering like a seesaw right on the edge of the car. Here's a visual. Ready? Okay. This is the hood of the car. This is my phone. This is my phone. Nope. This was my face. This was, and I quote, the actual sounds of the inside of the car. She eventually pulled over. I ran out of the car and picked up my phone. And when I say God is real, I'm gonna tell you guys the story of how I dodged giving a bad note to my parents in 1st grade. First of all, I wanna say that some teachers just don't realize the stress and the anxiety that goes into taking a note home. I was planning, I was strategizing, I was stressed out as a 1st grader, and for what? If I saw my 1st grade teacher today, he wouldn't remember me and he wouldn't remember this incident. My 1st grade teacher's name was Mr. Dork. It wasn't actually Mr. Dork, but it sounded exactly like it. He was upset with our class, I have no idea why. Maybe we got a sub the previous day. Again, I don't know why he was upset at us, but he told us to sit down on the rug. The rug was a very colorful piece of carpet where we learned how to spell. We learned the alphabet, we learned new words. He had us all sit there and he was staring at us like this. The class clown, not me, was staring in front of him like this. Me and my friend thought that was kind of funny. I'm gonna stress that we weren't the only ones, but we started chuckling. This is what my 1st grade teacher does. This is what Mr. Dorf does. What's so funny, Josie, that you can go get your notebook too. You guys, I swear that's word for word. It's ingrained in my memory. This was my face. So I went and got my brand new SpongeBob notebook. This is what he wrote. This is part 2 of how I dodged showing my parents a bad note. So Mr. Dirk was very upset with me. I went to reluctantly grab my SpongeBob journal. Brand new, hadn't written in it yet. Brought it over to him. He grabbed it out of my hand. Straight snatched it, started writing. Looked like this. I was panicking. Gave me the notebook back, said, you have to show that to your parents, have them sign it and turn it back in tomorrow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was crying at this point. So immediately after school, my parents were running a food booth at the fair. I kind of just held the notebook in my hand. My best chance of survival was showing my mom. I was like, Ma, I kind of have something I need to show you. And she was like, well, I can't right now because we're cooking and we have orders. So I was like, what if we put a pin in it? What if tomorrow, Mr. Dork doesn't ask me about it? So I tested this out. I don't even bring my journal. I come the next day, hoping it doesn't say anything. I walk into class, this man goes, where's the note? Oh, I forgot. Bring it on Monday. You see, that's the genius. It was a Friday. We had the whole weekend. So I spent the weekend at the fair. And on Monday morning, Mr. Dork had forgotten. How I got an entire stadium full of people to do what I was doing and to copy me. When I say stadium, I mean the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. So that's gonna be, hold on, let me look this up. 20,500 people. Okay, I'm just finding out a stadium and arena are not the same thing. Anyway, this was years ago when Corona was not a thing. I was just being nostalgic about concerts. I was at Winter Jam, which is like a giant concert with 10 Christian artists. It's like a 3-hour event. They come, they play. It's like $15 at the door. It's a great time. It's a great time. Every year they change up the artists. That year, the final act was Skrillex. Skrillex? I don't know. Anyway, everyone was like super hyped for them. I was just there like, yeah. They came out on stage, everyone cheered. And they would play like the first 10 seconds of a song and immediately the stage just died. Then they would try it again. Again, the stage went pitch black. That happened, I think, 2 more times. Finally, someone came out and was like, hey, we're having technical difficulties. Just hold on tight there. We were left in the dark. I had a brilliant idea. File for part 2. Part 2 of the arena full of people copying me concert story. The arena was pitch black, and we were really high up. The seating was first come, first served, so we got there late. We were high up, that's all I'm gonna say. And we could see that some people had pulling out their flashlights, so we decided to do the same. Looking at the entire arena, it was very spotty. Some rows were just black, some rows had flashlights. Overall, there was movement. Phones were just floating everywhere. And I noticed a group of about 4 doing this. waving their flashlights in a circle. They were all the way across the arena. We copied them. They saw us and started to wave. We couldn't see them at all, but we could see their phones going like this. We then saw 2 more people starting to wave. Again, doing this. So then I decided to start a chain. This was the exact movement. We didn't let up. We kept that going till all the people who had been waving at us started doing the same thing. So that was about 6 people already. So then other people would notice them, started doing it as well. And people didn't even have their flashlights on, turned them on just to do it. It only took less than like 10 minutes for almost the entire arena to be full of boxes with their flashlights. I was so proud. This is a story of how my sister literally went missing. She's fine now, but this could have turned out very differently. Okay, so now I was like 7 years old and my sister was about 8. We were moving from this house to a different house. We were set to move in about a week. My dad wanted to let the school know ahead of time so they could set up the best schedule and figure all those things out. He let the school know they gave him like a new bus route and all that stuff. However, I am not sure how this happened. I was at home with my cousin watching Scooby-Doo too. My sister's bus came and she wasn't on it. We were confused. Where could she be? My mom tells my dad, hey, Dee Dee wasn't on the bus. My sister. My dad calls the school. Hey, is Dee Dee there? They check the school. She's not there. My dad decides to go to the school and check himself anyway. I go with him. We go to the office. We check the classrooms. We check the bus loop. Nothing. She's just not there. Mom starts to panic. He starts calling all of our relatives. Nobody's seen her. Nobody can find her. My dad loses it. Administration at the school decides to contact the bus driver, because apparently my sister had gotten on the bus. Her teacher had been the last person to see her. Once getting in contact with the bus driver, he says, hey, I did drop her off at her new house. What? This is part 2 of when my sister went missing. So the bus driver said that he dropped my sister off at our new house. I don't know why I don't know why they would do this. No one lives there. The house is empty. That she doesn't know it. Hasn't even started moving in yet. It must have been some sort of huge miscommunication. I don't blame the driver, but geez. So we drove to the new house. She wasn't there. At this point, hours had passed. My parents were considering calling the police. Luckily, they get a phone call. An old friend of my parents had seen my sister walking by herself down the street. She was trying to walk herself home. Keep in mind, our new house was at least a 20-minute drive from our old house. Walking, I don't know how long that would take, but for an 8-year-old, long. My sister has always had a really good sense of direction. She's always super calm in a crisis, so I doubt she was freaking out or crying, but still. My parents' friend recognized my sister, picked her up, and decided to take her home. Once my sister was finally safe and sound, my dad had a few choice words for the school. Turns out it was a giant miscommunication. My sister had let the bus driver know that she shouldn't have been dropped off there, but he dropped her off there anyway. Sometimes adults just won't listen to kids. Let's talk about the time where I saved my mother from choking. Even though my sister, who is CPR certified, did nothing, and I had no idea what I was doing. In her defense, she kind of like freezes in a crisis, so I understand. But here's the story. So it was breakfast time, we were all eating in the kitchen. My mother was having baleadas, which is a Honduran food if you didn't know. It's basically flour tortillas, eggs, refried beans, basically soft food. So I don't know how this happened. I think I was eating cereal, watching Netflix on my phone or something. When I hear choking sounds, I look over to my right. Sorry, this is my left, I can't. Look over to my left, and I see my mother literally purple. Her face was purple, her eyes were bright red. My sister was in the dining room table right behind us watching this all happen, and my mom starts to go. I literally run and jump over the table. Something in my deep memory, probably from TV shows. I put my hands into a fist, put them right underneath her ribcage, push as hard as I can until I'm physically lifting her up, and my mother is a big woman. I was screaming at my sister, call 911, call 911, while I was still trying to get her to breathe. After a while, she's able to breathe again.